everyone! Welcome to another episode of Static Shift Resonant Frequency. This week we're taking a behind-the-scenes look at Beat Frequency Episode 2, My Friend Perspective. This was written by Aaron Sikowski, edited by Aaron Sikowski, directed by Aaron Sikowski, produced by Aaron Sikowski. All jokes and terrible puns also created by Aaron Sikowski. And Bill was 100% Aaron Sikowski. Acted by me. So when you hate this character, it wasn't me.
All characters are played by one-man
all
show.
Characters. Yes, it's all Aaron. He credited all of us, but it's all him. In any case, I'm your host, Rob Sogomonian. I am a voice actor and one of the founding members of Articulate Studios. I am joined tonight by 10 other people. There are 11 of us here tonight for this episode of Resonant Frequency. Here's the cool thing. We literally are recording this Tuesday night after having a listen party for the first time of this episode. So we literally just finished listening to the episode, and now we are doing Resonant Frequency for it. And there's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of energy here. I actually have to leave for a second, and
I am angry.
We got some stuff. Before we get into this, though, I want everybody to introduce themselves for those people who don't generally listen to Resonant Frequency. As I mentioned, I'm Rob Sogomonian. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm a voice actor, a video producer. I'm joined by my fellow founding members, Tiffany Magnuson, Aaron Sikowski, Jason Tibor, Jennifer Kellums, Danielle Card. Who else? Am I missing anybody? I'm not. I think those are the...
No, that's it.
Founding members. Founding members. Did I say Tiffany? I said Tiffany. And Jennifer. I said all of you. Okay, cool. So I got all the founding members and all of our roster members, Nettie Rose, Hannah Scribner, Teresa Apple, Tabitha Rickard, Erica A. I don't remember your last name. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. I'm just hyped from this episode, and I got to go read a Christmas story. So yes, I'm going to go and live stream a Christmas story. Hannah Scribner is going to take it from here. Y'all, enjoy.
See you later, little elf.
Bye.
Hey.
Hannah, introduce yourself first, and then pass it around the room.
Yes, I will pass around this metaphorical mic. Hi, guys. My name is Hannah Scribner. We've met before on previous episodes of Resonant Frequency. So, as you guys also know, I'm a voice actor from the desert. Everybody else go ahead and go around. Why don't we start off with Danielle? Get us going. Tell us a little snippet about yourself.
Hello. My name is Danielle Card. I hail from Michigan, and yes, that is going to be my tagline now of I hail from. It's very queenly. But anyways, I hail from Michigan, Metro Detroit area. I've been a voice actor for just shy of 2 years. I love this group. I love what we're making, but I'm very mad at Aaron right now. Anyways, he's making me feel too many things. But moving on, next person can introduce. I'll express my anger later.
You know what? We'll find out more about Danielle's anger later. So this is our new podcast, guys. Welcome to Therapy with Hannah. Erica, you're up next. Go ahead and tell us your name and all your problems.
Okay. My name is Erica Holden. I'm a voice actor from Texas, Northeast Texas. I'm the mother of 3 cats, and I love this group as much as everybody else. I'm so happy to be here, and this episode was fantastic.
We're like so popular, guys. We're like so popular.
We're like
oh my God, I can't believe I'm
most
so
popular.
We're so popular. Okay, next on my screen, hey Aaron, introduce yourself.
To the south of the Ocala National Forest, you will find a little redneck community. And in that redneck community lies a little vocal booth. And in that vocal booth lies me. Hi, I'm Aaron Sikowski. I am a voice actor from Central Florida. I wrote, edited arduously, produced, did all the things for this particular episode of Beat Frequency. And We're going to see how it goes. Next.
Next. Okay, I see a little Tiff on my screen. The cream puff queen, Tiffany.
Oh, hi. Yeah. Tiffany here. I'm from the Pacific Northwest in the Portland metro area. Been doing voice acting for four years-ish, freelance now. Did a bunch of other stuff for different companies I worked for, but yeah. That's me. That's where I'm from. I clearly have no trauma, and everything's good.
Yep, definitely, totally, and that's totally obviously apparent in this episode. Definitely, for sure. Everybody, trauma-free zone here, guys. We just do this for fun. Headed down on my screen, Baby T, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Hey, I'm Teresa Apple, professional stage actor turned voice actor of Voiceover Glitter. I'm right in the middle of the United States in Indiana. Woo!
Go Hoosiers.
Everything is rainbows, cats, and butterflies and glitter over here. We're good.
Ooh. Tabitha, I see you over to my left.
Hello, all the way from down Oz, Australia. I'm Ballarat. I am the global representative of the group. I'm Tabitha Rickard. I'm voice actor, actress, and presenter. So great to be part of my little Articulate family, and yeah.
Little crew together, little crew. And then over to my right, I see Miss Nettie Rose coming on in here. Introduce yourself.
Hello. My name is Nettie Rose. I'm the voice of the Rose. I'm a voice actor. I'm a singer as well and a vocal coach. So I've been doing this for a couple years, but actually I've been coaching for over 25 years with my own studio, as you can sort of see behind me. But so I'm part of Articulate, and I'm so excited to be here tonight and to give an opinion on the episode.
Ooh, Jen, I see you coming in hot from my right-hand side. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Jennifer Kellums. My marketing thing is the voiceover fairy godmother. I'm a speech pathologist by day and the fairy godmother by night, but I feel like after this episode, nobody's going to let me around their kids anymore.
No,
So,
No, that was a dark fairy, right? That was your dark fairy?
I might need to question all my life choices now.
Yes.
So we'll get into that.
Yeah. Welcome to the Resonant Free. Again, this is free therapy. You guys are welcome for our listeners. Again, I need to qualify. I am not a licensed therapist. I think we need to say that because the last thing Rob needs is legal trouble.
That's
so on
not
that
what you
end,
told me last time.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And then definitely not least but last. So sorry about that, Jason. That came out way worse than I meant it to.
Jason,
Maestro.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Please, Hannah, please continue.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this.
Excuse me, folks, while I just redo this really quickly on live podcast television. Moving forward from here, our illustrious maestro, Jason Tibor.
Yes. Yeah, my name is Jason, and I'm a voice actor, and I live in the woods.
Again, I'm really
mysterious.
I'm really loving the way that we're phrasing that. We're like, yeah, so this is the guy who makes the creepy shows. Don't read into it. It's not
Love.
method acting.
Don't go into the
The
woods.
amount of detail in
Yeah,
that
okay,
introduction
yeah, so creepy.
and the lack
I live in
thereof.
the woods, and I belong on a list.
Into the woods.
Yes. Yeah, he belongs on the list, people, and he does live in the woods. So do with that what you
Yep.
will.
With cows.
Well, that makes it less scary, actually.
This
I don't
many
know.
cows. We have, for podcast listeners, I'm holding up my one hand. 5.
Yep.
5 cows.
I mean,
Single-handed cows.
that's not
Huge.
no cows. That's
Now that we've covered that,
Yeah. Now that the cows are out of the way, guys, I know that was the burning questions that we've had.
The cows have come home.
Oh wow, you really set yourself up for that one, didn't you?
Nice.
There.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
Dad.
Yeah, you did.
Again with the dad jokes. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
They're the
come on,
best.
old man. Jeez.
What am I,
God, What are
50?
you like 50? Jeez. Hey guys.
She said
All
the
right,
thing.
So I did say the thing. Little perspective, right? Little perspective for us here. My friend, perspective. So I kind of just want Aaron. I'm like, just kind of tell us, like, where did this start from you? Like, you know, this must have come into fruition post the first episode of My Friend Sally. So what really put you in the, I guess, on the path that perspective was what was needed for the second half?
So, considering the fact that I only get 2 episodes this year, rather than try to make this great continuation with this big cliffhanger, I figured, why don't we flesh out the characters we saw in the first episode? Because we had some very interesting characters. We had some tragedy happen. We had some questions as to the character of said characters. Why is this television demon child attacking families? Why are these children, why these children, right? And why are we not seeing the bad parents? Why are we seeing the good parents who actually are trying? Why are they suffering? So a lot of things. I will now take questions.
Yeah. I think it's very interesting to think about the different perspectives and to almost work backwards in that way, where we really got introduced. It almost feels like, in early 2000s, I'm thinking, a lot of sci-fi shows started with so many cold opens, right? Firefly, SG-1, all these, older 2000 shows always started with these hard cold opens. You were just dropped in somewhere, right? And I think about how that's kind of how my friend Sally, that first episode, felt, right? Is you're all of a sudden just, you're just dropped in there into this reality. You're in this person's house, right? And that's kind of how this feels. And so then to sort of shift backwards as we're moving forward, if that makes any sense, I think that was a cool way to take this, because the characters are relatable, I think, for a lot of people. And I think they're so grounded in a lot of people's real experiences. A lot of people have experience with divorce, custody issues, all these things. And also children, right? A lot of people have kids. I mean, I'm not one of them, but a lot of people have kids. And so I think there's so many realistic parts of this that can be related to that, to then go back and really look at the specifics of those characters. I mean, it was very cool. And I think something that I put when we were listening to it in our listen party is it's so cool to do it as like teeny tiny little vignettes, almost like where, you heard like these really small pockets of what was happening. So they were such bite-sized information. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And
this wasn't the original script, though. There was originally a different script. So what came about with the change?
Many of you.
The story was going off in a different sort of tangent, and then you sort of came back with a whole new script.
So many of you may not recognize what happened here. However, for all of you, it is the original script. There are just portions of it I left out because
you're going to use it later.
Because as this was forming, the stuff that we recorded just didn't have a place. It did, or what happened just ruined the scene. There were actually 2 scenes that were supposed to go a lot longer that didn't, because it just would have destroyed the mood. And I didn't want that. This is still static shift. This was a very dramatic episode. I mean, don't get me wrong. It still had that little tinge of
dramatic.
It had that little tinge of horror in there, not enough to make people turn their volume down, but it was enough.
Speak for yourself, bruv.
I know, me and Hannah were like, we turned it down a little smidge.
No, I swear there was another script, though, and you were in hospital.
That was the prior. That was, we scrapped that. We'll talk about that later.
Right, okay, cool. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. No, the way that this particular story was told, the way my wife said was, it's very Pulp Fiction-y. And I dig that very much. And I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? We kind of do jump around like that because, you have at the end of episode 1, you have this tragedy, right? And then at the beginning of episode 2, it's like, whoa, when is this taking place? And right, you're kind of confused, and then it starts unfolding. Like, oh, he's talking to an attorney. Oh, Lizzie must be fine. Oh, we're talking about Bill. Oh, he knocked his ass out. So there are all these things.
Well, I feel like the script that Tabitha is referring to could happen after this.
Or it could be in my recycle bin as of 6 months ago. You never know.
Sure. But I'm continuity-wise, I'm thinking of what that was and where we ended here. And I'm like, that could very well be the next thing that happens, or where he finds himself, right?
Mm.
Yeah, just a thought.
I want
does that.
Conspiracy
questions.
theorying now.
It does that thing like where you ramp up the drama and the stuff going on, and then it goes to the next episode. It's like, oh no, I'm not gonna scratch that itch of like what just happened. Flashback episode.
Totally. And I think, something interesting about the way that this, I think, happened was that you mentioned the Tarantino thing. And I think a lot about how we can become a lot more attached to our characters sometimes than a story. I think about that pretty frequently sometimes, right? That if I think about how many times maybe you've watched a show, finished a movie or something because you were so concerned about what happened to the characters or what's happening to the characters, even if the story didn't make any sense to you. And so I think a lot about how the characters in that first episode were so relatable. So even if you were like, I don't really understand, like, what is going, static shift, and it can be confusing, right? You're like, what's happening? There's future, there's past, there's present. And yet you get so connected. You're like, yeah, but then like what happens to Alan? Like, I want to know what happens to Mr. Like, you're so concerned. And so I think that that's really such a special thing that we have. And speaking of, I'm like, we had some rough, like, I'm just gonna get into it. I'm like, Tiff, little cream puff Tiff. So like, how did that feel?
Right. I thought
How
that.
did that character feel for you? Like, how was that?
Sadly, relatable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So it was interesting to get into that headspace and have those kinds of conversations, like a faux conversation, and have someone that wasn't necessarily as supportive as they should have been, right? That was not my personal experience, but feeding off of that in this particular scene amped it up because, I mean, I would have been furious and devastated at the same time had that been the scenario, right? So it was interesting. I liked doing emotional scenes. I can get into it a lot more. I can relate to it a lot more when there's higher emotion. So that was interesting for me.
Yeah, I'm sure, because it felt so deeply personal. And I think, for all the women here, right? The statistics of, like 1 in 4 women, right? And if it's not you, you know somebody. And I think that tackling this the way that you did with so much authenticity and having such a grounded, realistic performance really just lent itself to us being able to build such a complex world. And for, our listeners and for ourselves, right? Even if nobody ever listened to this, if it was just us listening to it, it was so grounding and realistic and brought a lot of empathy and perspective.
It was a very authentic read, yeah.
Perspective.
When I
did the thing, said the thing.
So the writing worked.
Yeah, it worked.
I was gonna say,
in a fantastic way. Yeah. I know that for a lot of women, that's so relatable. I mean, and of course, for a lot of men, DV doesn't stop for anybody. But I think the way that you portrayed that and how much work that you had to put in there, it's not always. I don't know if people outside of our line of work understand how draining that can be, right? And what that's like, to be the person that writes that, right? To be the person that performs that, and then to try to go live your normal life and watch TV with your kid or go have a conversation with your husband or like whatever that is, right? In the same way, being a unicorn takes a couple little bit to get out of as I'm trying to stop making only noises to communicate with the other human in my house, right? Or whatever.
Yes.
But, like it takes a lot out of you. And I could just tell in that performance because it was so gut-wrenching to hear you. And especially, we love each other, right? We're all like a family together. We spend so much time together every single week.
No, we are a family.
Yeah, we are
There's
a
no
family,
like
right?
about it. We are a family.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I did like that the
that's
writing.
tough.
It is. I did like the writing it was addressing generational trauma, which I think is pretty relevant now. There's a lot of people that are trying to break that generational cycle of trauma.
Totally.
And I liked that was kind of the subtext here for this particular scene. I liked that a lot.
Especially because so many things transcend generational stuff, even with this episode, from Alan, Lizzie, all the, looking at how trauma's reproduced in that way. And I think that I don't know. It was just fantastic and heart-wrenching all at the same time. Truly, that was rough in a tough way. I don't know I don't want to say in a good way because I'm like in an artistic way.
Authentic.
Yes,
Yes.
it was authentic.
It
I was
landed.
gonna say,
Thank you.
Tiffany,
It landed.
that
It did what it was supposed to do.
Tiffany, that performance, it like stilled my heart. It was something that I felt the vulnerability in it. I felt the frustration. I felt all the emotions, and it felt so real. And I was just like, wow, to pull that off. Like, I've played hard roles before. Like, I get it, but you did it so well. You did it in a way that was, like, I guess, respectful to people who have been in that place, and still very real and authentic. And so I just wanted to say, like, I loved your performance and I hated your performance. So
Right? It's one of those like I'm glad you were able to pull it off, but I hate that you were able to pull it off. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I didn't have to do those lines with Griffin. So
Yeah, I was
he
really
did his
thankful.
separate.
I was
Yeah.
really thankful that cute little voice was in there to kind of like give me a little bit of relief because that was so emotionally intense. I really enjoyed it.
See,
Yeah, the
especially
writing
'cause
His
has
you're-
it.
performance was amazing, by the
That's
way.
so
Yeah.
good. That's our Sova winner right there.
Yes.
That we need to
Nailed it.
nominate for an award, okay?
Yeah,
Own
that was
category.
fantastic.
That's a cutie.
Cutest
5
little
years
voice.
old. 5 years
Yeah.
old, and he's got his first little credits.
Woohoo!
Yay.
How many
cute.
5-years-olds have an IMBD credit?
Exactly.
What?
I'm like, can you even spell IMBD, Griffin? I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Show and tell. I know what he's taking to show and tell.
Yeah, tell me right now.
His friends can't hear this.
Oh yeah, that's a, no. His IMD, just a credit, and then a disclaimer to not actually look up the show
Yes.
and listen to it.
Yes.
I was gonna say, this is not something children can listen to. If they do,
Yeah,
No,
not children
just
appropriate.
no.
That is for sure.
And if you're in Australia and you were triggered, I highly recommend calling 1-800-RESPECT. I don't know what the American line is. If any of
We're
the
in
content
America, we
around
don't have
DV
that.
has triggered you, please call 1-800-RESPECT.
That's good, Tabitha.
Yeah, that's great.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thanks for including that. That was smart.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And for reference, Griffin wasn't in any of like our back and forth, so I didn't traumatize him either. I promise.
Yeah, we should
Correct.
clarify for all of our listeners, no animals were harmed in the making of this
No
episode,
children were
including children
traumatized.
and
No
animals
children.
and humans. Just covering all of it, like we gotta. This is a work of fiction. I need to preface this. Sorry, Rob.
Whoa. Actually, Hannah, hold on. I didn't want to say anything, but I had the speakers cranked, and I scared the shit out of some squirrels that were just outside the studio.
What about the cows?
No, I saw these. They are not okay. Like they're not doing well.
Okay, so what we're
You
saying is
traumatized them.
animals were definitely traumatized, but children were not.
Okay, so the generational trauma did continue from big squirrel to little squirrel. So fully understood. Turning it over actually to our resident squirrel, Teresa. Baby T, your performance in this was just fucking solid. Like, God, that was some really, really great. I don't know why that character, like, it was made for you. You were literally, it's like when people say when somebody's in like the right dress and they're like, you are wearing that dress, not that dress wearing you. I'm like, you were wearing that character. Damn. That was incredible. Tell me about like your experience. What was it like?
So I was given a little bit of a helping hand from biology because I was recovering from a very intense head cold. And my character was trying to recover from weeks of very intense work. And so they kind of married with each other. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to use this. And was wonderful to work with as far as a director. Sometimes as voice actors, we just get this scene and we're told go. But Aaron was very, very skilled at saying, like, this is the context, this is, your motivations, what you're feeling. And so it was really practiced and easy for me to just kind of like, okay, let's go into those shoes and and go. And like visualize the things, and he was giving me like, you're holding this, you're doing this, you're gonna shuffle this way. I'm like, perfect. And
Yeah,
so
he's an incredible director like that. Like, yeah, incredible to be live directed. Like, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, giving you a real mental image of where you're supposed to be at, totally.
yeah. And so like I typically play like really out there characters. And so to get somebody like intelligent and like kind of normal, I was like, this is cool. Like that was the outlier for me.
Totally. As somebody else who plays very extreme characters also, and I'm also such an intense person, I also played a regular person, in this episode, and was also like, wow, awesome. Okay, heard. You know what I mean?
I couldn't help but notice that when Mr. Allen was getting chewed by the why do you, every one of you ladies who happens to know me nodded your head in unison. Why is that? I wonder
really, why
you
is that?
all did that.
Yeah.
No idea.
No idea at all.
I probably
No
wasn't even
idea.
aware I was nodding.
Yeah.
Same. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea.
No idea at all.
I don't think it happened, actually.
This is where we cut in the flashback to the watch party.
Yeah. Video evidence. Or it didn't happen.
Yeah, cut the live
There's no
footage of the
video
watch party.
evidence of anything like that. No,
Yet.
not at all.
Mhm.
Shh.
You know what? And I feel like we
Right,
got
turn it off,
introduced
turn it off.
to a lot of cool characters this episode because I feel like we were really getting a picture for we're really getting a picture for Sister Margaret. By the way, I just have to bring it up because it's my favorite thing. I fucking love the idea that Sister Margaret is rolling up to that bitch in a Ford F-150. Like, I love that idea. Like, I know that is like, that was truly one of the best parts about hearing the original first episode. Like, and that's the cool part for us, right, guys? Is there's Aaron cry laughing because he was like, why? Listen to my edits. Does it sound like Sister Margaret is rolling up in a Dodge Charger right now? And it did. Yeah, it did. And it was awesome. And it was so awesome because A, I could actually picture that, like, Tab doing that. And B, picturing Sister Margaret, like, I'm thinking like Sarah Connor-esque, like pulling up to that bitch with like a Mad Max vehicle was an awesome visual for me to be thinking about. Incredible. And, I love that we're being like ominously introduced to like this like secret, we got a guest star, Sup Tabby babies. For those of you on the podcast who can't see anything, I'll now be telling you that we have Griffin, who just popped in this picture to say hello really quickly. That's all he was doing.
He was like,
hugs.
turn the camera off.
Getting all the
Yeah,
hugs.
that's fair. Like, guys, he's a celebrity. Please don't crowd him. Like, I need everybody to just like take 5
No
feet away,
photos,
please, paparazzi.
no autographs
5
at
feet
this
away.
time. Please and
Yeah,
thank
no
you.
autographs, please. No vocal graphs at this time, guys.
But if anybody producing Bluey, just call Tiffany Magnus.
Yeah, at Tiffany Magnuson, please.
So yeah, Sister
American
Margaret in a
accent,
Dodge Ram.
Yeah, American accent.
Sister
Bluey.
Margaret in a Dodge Ram, but I also love that we have like this secret cabal of nuns that is like, I love this idea that we know, like hearing Nettie's like very professional voice on the other end be like, you've got 9 minutes. I'm like, oh shit, the holy hand grenade of Antioch. Somewhere Rob is getting my reference right now. I'm like somewhere he's like, a right now on his live. But it's so true. Like, why was I, the second that I heard that, I was like, we need just a side movie of I just want to see Sister Margaret
Driving the truck.
Superior. Like, I'm imagining 2 sawed-off shotguns, 1 double-barrel buckshot. Sup, bitch? We're here to bring, like, this is the rapture. We are here. They are armed. They are ready. They are ready to go.
Dynamic duo.
Yeah,
So what
a
we're
truly
saying
dynamic
is,
duo.
we don't need Rob to
I
be
love
here for
that.
the conspiracy theories to be flowing out. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Well, we don't even know what's happening, First we think it's this way, and then it's like that way, and then I'm just like, you just tell me what you need, I got you. That's it.
I know, that's all of us. Aaron comes up to me, he's like, I need you to be a hard ass. I'm like, got you. Hey, cool.
Yeah, Danielle, how did that feel for you? I feel like, it's so funny because you and I in our scene, typically I would say when we're cast doing stuff together, our roles would be reversed, right? Like I feel like that's typically how that would flow. And so to have Aaron kind of change it up for, for you to really be able to let all that out. I'm like, that was really cool for us as two people who get to play around together all the time to play opposite of each other.
It was so fun.
The sound effects he put into that scene were fabulous as well, like the windscreen wipers and even the car pulling over. It was just all so on point.
It was
so
the raindrops that changed from moving raindrops to when they stopped the car, the rain got lighter.
Oh my gosh. No,
little
absolute
things like that took me 59 hours to edit in. Yeah, those things.
I even noticed with Rob's scene when he said he got money, the people in the chatter in the group, there was a few even sounds where they went, yeah. I noticed that in the background too. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, no, Aaron, the editing, oh my gosh. Don't ever question your editing skills, man, because they are freaking amazing. You put so much heart into it. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Everything you do and produce, you just pour your whole heart in, and it absolutely shows, and it turns out amazing. And it was just so fun getting to play a character. So, I'm a mom, right? There's a lot of times I want to yell at people, but they're little. What?
You may now chew me out. Go for it.
Aaron, you made me feel freaking things I did not want to feel. I don't like it. I was too emotional. Hang on, wait, we have a thing. Okay, it's red now. I'm angry. For oh my God, Aaron. I was so, it's a good thing, but God, I'm so angry.
Start at the beginning.
For those at home, though, or listening in their ears, Danielle has lights in her studio, and she turned them red.
I did.
So,
dun, dun, dun.
To be fair, this is the first time I actually had my lights on for a meeting, which is so fun. Love new Black Friday sale gadgets and whatnot. But no, no, the scene that I had with Hannah was super fun because most people hear my voice and they don't think, oh yeah, she's a hard ass. She can do range. She can get angry. And it's like, well, as a woman, I have this deep rage in me at some times that never gets to come out. Actually, the first time I was recording it with Hannah and Aaron directing us and some other people giving some feedback. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. We did 3 takes, whatever. It's going to be great. I get back to edit. My gain was so high, and I clipped every yelling scene. And I was like, I ruined the show.
No, you didn't. You gave me the one that you gave me. I was able to use. Now, what the problem though was that it was missing a line that I needed, and that line was part of your bad gain line. So I actually had to go back. I doctored it enough to kill the clipping. So it still worked. And what's really nice.
I ruined everything. It's
miserably.
Aaron fixed it.
Big fat F. She doesn't pass. Danielle has to repeat this grade.
Thank goodness for ambient effects. Again, you had the reverb of the van. You had the raindrops, and I mean, I also had I kind of had to master crossfading in this because this is chock full of things moving from your left to your right and your right to your left, and I had to learn that overnight. So I did.
You did a good job, though.
Another point of the whole perspective thing, because you're hearing the driver on the left, which was you, and you heard the passenger on the right, which was Speedy. So I'm sorry, for context, Hannah Scribner, my little sister. Speedy, I call her that.
Speedy.
So,
be in the house.
Yeah, so it worked. Good God, your performance was so good when you were chewing her out. Like it worked.
Yeah, I can't believe those fucking things you said to me. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, Hannah. I love you.
I can't believe that you yelled at me.
No, but truly,
you're amazing.
You need
You're
to
wonderful.
take your little glitter ass, go do some shots down at O'Brien's, and just, Drink it off.
That's like one of my favorite lines.
Actually, I mean, I still have some. You want it?
But truly, Danielle, like I only ever hear you doing like sweet. I hear you do mom. I hear you do like emotional and like you'll like rip my heart out because it's just so like just gut and heart wrenching, emotional, and so to like hear. And this is one. Were we recording this or did we just go through the script through this together, or was it an actual recording?
I think we all recorded live together.
Okay.
I recorded live,
we had
and then I
listen.
did the
this one,
retakes
I was
on
like,
my own.
holy cow! One of the 5, like
One
it
of
was.
the-
I think every
I
mom.
was like, wow.
I think every mom has that rage in her. Like every mom has that. Like, oh my God,
No.
no.
And to top it off,
Dude, every woman, every
I'm
married woman.
an oldest sibling. I have
Yeah,
mastered
that makes
it.
a lot of sense.
I am the oldest sibling of other sisters, and I know how to use my voice. And a theater kid. Like, you learn how to project your voice. You learn how to, command with your voice. And, I mean, so many things from theater I've just
And you
applied to
mean
voiceover.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, and you mean it. That's
I
totally
mean
true.
it.
Yeah. Being the oldest,
Danielle has
yeah,
one
you
of my
mean it.
favorite voices. I love your voice, Danielle.
You're so
I
sweet,
mean, I love
Betty.
it so thick and much. I cannot tell you enough how much I love your voice.
Aw,
Dang, and I
thank
wish that
you.
Rob was here so we could talk about Bill too. Loving
Well-
Bill's
Oh my
voice
gosh.
also.
I can kill a little time
Bleh.
before he gets here. I
Bleh.
want to jump back
Bill's
to
the
the
worst.
beginning. The
Yeah,
very
talk to us
beginning.
more about the beginning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we have little tiny Lizzie running from Sally. And it's scary shit.
I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
loved
was
it.
so mad. I was
I
so
am a
mad.
5-year-old girl, and I loved it.
2-year-old.
I should be careful when I go to sleep at night, but I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, you gonna be haunted, Mama. I'm like,
I know.
That's gonna be something that's gonna be in your dreams.
Yeah,
I
like,
know.
I'm like, no, just take her for a week. Let me know when you're done.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, 100%.
But then when
All-
it cuts back to that scene, and then she's like, "You're bad, Daddy," and then it
No.
just goes down like
The
some-
beginning. No. That is not the same scene.
Ah,
the
I thought it
very
was like,
the very beginning
Right.
actually happened. The bit before
Is a
Sister
nightmare.
Margaret is a nightmare.
Right. Because then you can hear her
oh,
age up a little bit, right?
Mm.
Like she aged up a little bit.
I'm so glad
yeah,
you caught that.
I caught that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so
Nightmare.
glad you caught that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Well,
I mean,
and-
and it's crazy because even aged up, she doesn't sound like Speedy. Like this is what Lizzie's gonna sound like in 4 more. Like this is like 8-year-old Lizzie you're hearing now. Like
Honestly,
you're
something-
a bad daddy. Ugh.
Something
Yeah,
that I
was
thought
and
is
those were all my first takes. I felt pretty good about that. Those were just like, and I felt pretty. I mean, she's also a character I can slip into pretty easy. But I'm glad that you did catch that because that was it. That was an incredible choice to make, Erin, to have her aged up to hear. I don't know.
You're a
I'm just
bad
again. I'm
daddy.
sure for people who have children, that's really relatable. If that makes sense, to be able to hear your child's voice. I'm sure you can imagine your child's voice when they're 4, and then what they sound like when they are 8. You know what I'm saying? 10, 12, 15, whatever. So incredible and also freaky, like gross, but also
Something-
cool.
something that I even almost wondered because, so Hannah, what you did, the way you said those lines, it sounded like Jen's voice. And I'm like, wait, is this Sally? Like pretending to be Lizzie? And that freaked me the F out. I was like, nope. I don't like it.
Because your mind is going in so many different places. You're trying to like follow it, but then you're trying to predict it, but then you can't predict it because it's not predictable. But then you're like, you don't want to mess up your brain at the same time by trying to predict something. And yeah.
Good, then I
But I will
succeeded.
say, like with that beginning,
Yeah.
that beginning was, and that was a surprise to me too because all I got from Erin was, I need some more laughs and I need some booze, and I'm like, okay, are we
That's
like
BOO,
playing?
not
like-
the stuff that Danielle drinks. BOO.
Booze.
They're lying
And
to you
so-
guys.
It's
It
only
is
wine.
booze.
It's only
with a
wine.
Z. Yep. Capital Z.
That
capital
looks
Z.
It is just
empty.
fermented fruit. It's fine.
That
It's
looks
just-
empty, Danielle. What's going on?
Yeah,
Are you
so-
okay?
That is stressful episode!
all the static shifts.
How many lines?
all the static
Okay,
shifts
this is
start
only my second.
with
We're fine. It's fine.
all the static shifts begin with Jason doing the static shift thing, and I'm like, all right, how can we make this a little different? How can we catch you off guard right at the very beginning? Because a lot of people have been waiting for this. Like, is there going to be a Sally sequel? Yes, there is. So here we are, and right after the disclaimer at the beginning, I'm like, all right, I want to make this as different as possible. I want to throw everybody for a loop. And what's the best way to do it? Let's start with Lizzie. And
so
let's see.
freaking mad at you.
Ooh.
I
Still.
have a question
Yes.
for Jason. Did you compose the transition music tone?
The transition music comes all the way from episode 3.
Okay.
Because from episode 3 all the way to episode 7, he uses that song to transition scenes.
Because for me, it's the new like dun dun dun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the Lost.
Kind of what I was going for, yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. I like.
Yeah.
Did you compose it? Did you create it, or did you find it?
yes, I did. That's
all.
all
What I thought.
originally written and recorded, produced by me.
That's
For
so
this-
cool.
Originally, for the first Sally episode, Jason had 6 songs to give me. Two of which was the static.
More than I had written for the mainline Static Shift series
Exactly.
at that point.
He gave me,
by the way.
he gave me the Static Shift opening theme, closing theme. So there was 2 songs, and then he wrote 4 songs specifically for the Sally episode. One of which is the little cartoony opening that starts when you hear the tape go in the VCR.
Oh.
So
I
I had
Yeah,
3.
so
I had 3
is there like
original.
an album?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to create
I-
a Spotify album.
I had.
It'd be like your Halloween soundtrack.
No, I got to
soundtrack,
focus on the Tail Wag record right now. It's on the back burner.
So for this episode, I didn't have enough music. I had what I needed for like the little scary scenes, but there was a lot of drama here. There was a lot of suspense here. I didn't have anything for Sister Margaret. I didn't have anything for the bar. And I asked Jason, I was like, dude, can I have the music that plays during Dr. Ross's talk with Corey? And can I have the songs that play in episode 3 and in episode 2 when the kids are all having the ham radio talk? Because I needed some, I hate to say it like this, and I don't mean it when I say it like this, but I needed some filler. Because a lot of the conversations get a little long-winded, and they I noticed that they started to kind of ramp up in emotion. And I'm like, all right, I need to back this. So I politely asked him at 1:27 in the morning, can I have this? In my defense, it was 10:27 for him. It's 1:27 a.m.
Okay.
for me.
Oh, brother.
So I'm frequently up at 1:27 my time.
So yeah, so like at
You're
this
just
point,
waking up, probably.
he's probably like used to, like, all right, where's Aaron's request for today? So we got I got the music tracks from him, and I wanted to kind of start to bring in the canonical Static Shift feel into these episodes, because again, it is still Static Shift at its core. Not to mention the fact that there was a scene that I cut out that I wanted to leave it in because it was supposed to like be the big culmination. It was supposed to make you cry. It was supposed to be this great big thing. And I made the very difficult decision to cut it out. 1, because Jason did not have the time to write me a score for it. 2, it's so emotional that I would need something that would guarantee, like, there are certain songs you can play on piano. Like if you go from one key to another key, it stimulates the brain and actually makes you sad and starts to bring tears. And that's kind of what I was looking for, and I didn't have the time. So in the interest of moving to the next story, I went ahead and cut it, and I kind of left, I left the episode ending on a feeling of suspense as opposed to a feeling of sadness or a feeling of loss.
Yeah.
Because to be
definitely.
honest, Mr. Allen has suffered enough.
Yeah, that poor man, dude. Like, he doesn't like we can just like leave that man alone. Like, for sure, for the next, like, we need to leave that man alone going into the holiday season, okay?
Real.
Missed it though, to be honest with you, knowing it that it was actually in existence and now it's not in existence. It's a missing thing for me. It's not the same for the audience because they haven't heard it, but I find that part is missing a bit because it was such a moment.
Totally.
But I
And a
love
lot of
that
you
Mr.
have
Allen gets his
no
moment.
idea what that moment is.
Oh, yeah.
It's true.
There was crying. There was actual crying.
Actual crying.
There
Real
was-
tears, guys.
There was
We're shedding
actual
real tears. Not actor tears, guys. Real tears. Like, genuine, salt of the earth, people pay me for them. Tears.
Yeah,
Like, really. Just
it was hard. It was hard to go places there. So
yes. Yeah.
You
So
can
yes.
use it for a demo for something.
Yeah.
So we
No,
have
seriously.
the other thing was Tabitha had mentioned this. So let's jump to the dream, because holy crap. So this dude just gets lifted into the air and dropped on a bedpost. Now he's probably permanently damaged forever, and he's knocked the hell out. And here comes Sister Margaret, and she's freaking out because she thinks this dude is dead. And here comes this dream sequence, and it's literally the culmination in his brain of everything that has happened, and the worst possible thing. I mean, even worse than this little girl being taken, this little girl rejecting him.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that was, I got to tell you, it was cool and it wasn't, because here's what I absolutely love about Speedy. She sends me so many takes, and my brain goes so many places. I lined up a lot of what she did, and it literally came to me, and I'm like, wait a minute. I need a dream sequence. I need a help me, daddy. I'm right here, Lizzie. So what I did was I put it all in the order that I wanted to, and then I hopped in the booth and I played her voice, and then I reacted to her voice. And I got to tell you, as a dad, that was hard to do.
So you
Can't
improv
even
that.
imagine.
It hurt to do that because I have a daughter. So, and then the whole "you're a bad daddy" thing that actually came later. I messaged her and I was like, I need this line. I need these lines because then it was time. How can we flip this from so terrifying to holy crap, why is this getting weird and twisted? And we got weird and twisted. Like, okay, now this little girl just turned on her daddy. Why did she, holy crap, this like went weird sad at the same time. And I felt like that was a little more important to deliver than the continuation of what was going on in the house, because I didn't want to retell the story of the house. We know what happened in the house. I felt like a little tiny snippet of James explaining to Sister Margaret what happened was all we needed.
It was.
Right.
And
Yeah, exactly. It makes their relationship quite more, a bit more complex, I think, between father and daughter in that way. It's not so two-dimensional. So, like, little girl, sad dad gets taken away, right? Like, I think that this complicates their relationship quite a bit. In a way that is really real probably for parents. You know what I mean? I think that it complicates the way that people, the realities that are being lived or the realities that aren't being lived. And I think it also
And a
shows
father's
lot more
greatest
depth.
nightmare is his daughter. Yeah.
I feel-
Exactly.
yeah, any
Rejecting him
parent's
like that.
nightmare is the worst fear is their child rejecting them and being like, no, you're a bad parent. Like, first off, hearing that from anybody cuts kind of deep. But hearing it from the child themselves, who you've raised, loved, made sure they got to bed on time every night, made sure they were fed, put them in clean clothes, bathed them. Hearing that,
Yeah.
like, I can imagine, but oh my God, no.
I think by that time my heart was like going like a million
Also-
times an hour.
I also thought it was good timing, because I was struggling at the end with the scene order. And I was kind of being mathematic about it. Like, okay, so let's have something with James, something without, something with, something without. Because I didn't want to, I was really afraid that I had oversaturated the episode with this character. Even though all the shit that's going on is revolving around him and Lizzie, I didn't want to oversaturate the episode. I didn't want to have back-to-back scenes with this father. Like, he needed a break. And I think jumping around in time, like we did beautifully, really helped with that. This is why I think, in my opinion, the first 2/3 of the episode really works. I was a little afraid coming into the end of it because I felt like it was a little oversaturated. But yeah, I'm pretty sure a therapist can break down my entire brain just listening to this episode.
Yeah, 100%.
This episode runs so deep. And do we have Bill here?
We do have fucking Bill here. Bill.
He's been quiet
I
in the
got like
background.
$50,000 in sales. What's up?
Resounding.
Billy.
And audience, this is the part where you get to say with us on 1, 2, 3, fuck Bill.
Stupid Bill.
Yes, at the same
Wait,
exact time. So Bill is
God,
our most hated character and
is
also our
Bill
most hated member.
here?
I mean, most loved
Robert.
member.
Rob gets all the token jerk rolls.
I want some of that
I don't
Bill
know
money.
where that comes from him at all.
Robert.
No
Also-
typecasting whatsoever.
None whatsoever. Like nothing.
Robert.
Yes, Danielle. Yes.
Good job, but fuck you. Oh my god, I cannot talk to you anymore.
Wow.
Wow, if I get that from Danielle, she never swears, so that's actually quite a compliment.
Yeah,
Thank you.
your acting must be fantastic.
See, I thought Gardner was bad, but I don't know. I think he tops it.
Truthfully,
Yeah.
she should be saying that to me. I wrote his lines.
Okay, Aaron. Fuck
and
you.
created the
Now,
character.
Don't do that again.
Yeah, wow. Dude, this is Danielle. I want everybody to understand on this episode of Resonant Frequency, Danielle has said the F word twice. I want to keep this
Wow, I missed the first
twice.
Write it
Twice.
down.
Yeah,
The first one was
it's
you,
to both of you guys.
Rob. The first one was
Yeah.
at
Oh, the
Rob.
first
The
one
second
was-
was at
so I
Aaron.
got
And
a
this is
fuck twice.
because I have have had 2 glasses of wine. That's all this is.
For a third.
So you get
No.
one per.
For the
That's
third
kind of how
one.
that works.
I can't do it later.
That's why you go back
And
to
if
the
you've
start
watched
for
past
more.
if you've watched past episodes, wine doesn't chill you down. It's cigarettes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've learned that.
Yeah.
I've learned that now.
Yeah.
No, cigarettes make you
Will
cool.
wine
help.
wine winds you up.
Here,
Why-
Danielle.
Hannah.
So let's get in.
Junior.
Sorry, guys. We're just doing, for those of you who are just listening, we're all doing drugs collectively together. If you also have your drugs, do them now. Just,
No
No
like,
drugs.
No.
Some of us are dare kids.
No
and
drugs.
have never done drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Most
was
of
a
us are
dare
dare
kid. I was a dare kid.
I am a dare kid. And what do you want? What do you want from me?
What's a dare kid?
You'll-
Oh,
you'll-
yeah.
you'll-
Oh, boy.
Our
Since
token
we have this
Aussie.
thing-
Here
All
we
right,
go.
Let's
this
not
thing called
let's not kill
drug
too
abuse
much time on this,
Okay.
please.
Yeah, okay. You know what?
Drug abuse
I'll get with
resistance
you on dare.
education. This is a what are we, millennials, Gen X? I don't know what we are.
Gen
We're
X.
millennials.
Gen
When
X.
I was in like 5th grade, we had this officer come in and be like, if you try anything, even cigarettes, the next step is heroin. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God. And so it's just like,
Yeah.
But then
never
everyone
gonna
was
try.
like, well, what's heroin? I
Right.
don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. They were like, if you look at a cigarette, meth. If you've ever smelled weed, you're already high. You're already high.
That's
You will
exactly right.
fail a drug
You're
test.
addicted.
It's so bad.
You're hooked for life. That's all
Hooked
And
that
you will
for
fail
life,
at life.
dude.
Yep.
Hooked for life.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs.
100%.
Any questions?
Yeah.
That was the biggest slogan.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
You got a cool
Yeah.
T-shirt out of it.
The
You
frying
did
Yeah, we
get a
did.
cool T-shirt, and that's how I learned how to roll joints. So,
So,
also,
nice.
there's lots of skills I got out of that, folks. Yeah.
So
I had a
Still don't
Black
understand what a
Crowes
dare
tape,
kid
and
is.
I was terrified.
So Dare was a drug aversion program that went into elementary schools and basically educated kids on drugs and that they were bad. But mostly it just educated kids on drugs. So
I was gonna say,
Yeah, it was awesome.
actually,
Now-
I heard the word and I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I was homeschooled, so I didn't have that.
So
That
And-
explains it.
And there was a cam.
You had your own dare officer. It was your mama.
Okay,
That makes
for
And
those
for-
Oh my God,
listening, if you're in
really?
Australia, that's probably our version of Healthy Harold, which was like the little
Harold.
Yeah, he was a giraffe that
Puppet.
came into schools and taught us about being healthy. And actually, funnily enough, I was in Melbourne doing that episode of Who's Speaking Please, and the voice of Healthy Harold was on my team.
No way.
It was like a little
funny.
moment.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Doesn't that seem like that seems to make more sense to be like, hey, kids, make healthy life choices versus, hey, let me tell you about all these drugs and don't do them.
Yeah.
Right. So there was the DARE.
you will die.
Yeah.
There was the DARE program, and then there was McGruff, the crime dog.
Oh my God, that's
loved
exactly what I was gonna say.
Okay, well, McGruff was cool though. There's a big difference between that DARE officer and McGruff
Now.
because the DARE officer sounded like the guy in the beginning of Mean Girls where he's like, "You will have sex and you will die." Like that's it. There's nothing going on further from that.
So
that was it.
There was an order to that. There was an order to it all. Like if for everybody 39 plus, you'll probably remember in this order: Just Say No to Drugs, DARE, McGruff the crime dog, and then the lady who was like, syphilis, gonorrhea, blah, 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 blah. Like, if you have sex, you will have every single one of these diseases. And in 10 years exactly, like on day one of the 11th year, you will die of AIDS.
Rapture! Rapture!
Boom. That was it.
That's
right.
gonorrhea.
That's, yeah.
Wow, what a side quest we've just got.
Yeah,
anyway.
No, I swear to God, this lady went
Bill.
This lady went all over the United States. Syphilis, gonorrhea, blah, 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 blah. So, before we get into the dynamic of Mr. Allen and Bill, I want to throw some glory to Larry. Because
Larry!
Shout out to Larry.
He's in Germany right now, which is why he can't join us tonight. Otherwise, he absolutely would have been
so cool. A world traveler.
Larry did three takes for us. Larry, so this was kind of like another one of those secret recordings that we did. It was Rob, it was myself, and it was Larry. And I felt so bad because it took Larry like 21 minutes to get all of his DAW set up, and I'm just kind of sitting there like, we're going to have some fun today.
He installed an update, and it like moved all of his files somewhere.
Yeah.
None of his
I hate
presets were
updates.
set,
It sucked.
What is going? And he was super, super apologetic about it. But it honestly, other than delaying us a bit, didn't really... I mean, it didn't stop.
Rob, you're coming in extremely quiet, bro.
Am I?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Tabitha, you're a little extra loud, sweetie.
Am I better?
Yeah, you turn your game
And
down,
Nettie,
Tab.
I hear all your
So I'm extra.
Yeah,
I'm extra.
I'm coming here.
Rob is in a tiny bottle that I've put him in, guys. Just so that those of you who are listening, Rob is in a tiny bottle.
That's
I've put him
funny.
in there. If you find him in the ocean, open up the bottle and read that letter, ladies. It's a love note.
Oh my God, it's
That's
like the
the
little
only
fairy in
way
the
to
bottle from
contain
Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, listen. All right, so Larry gave me 3 takes, and Larry wasn't feeling too confident about the first couple, but I was extremely happy with them. And then he's like, hey, I emailed you a 3rd take. And I'm like, okay. And it's this semi-redneck Sam Elliott sounding thing. And I'm like,
Great.
okay, I'll use it.
Yeah,
because
he has such a low, beautiful voice for that. Oh,
he
gorgeous
does.
tone.
I mean,
really.
he got way down there, and it was good. I mean, it took a little work to kind of give him the presence, like he was yelling, because he really wasn't yelling like, "Hey, Bill, come to the bar," when it was sounding more like, "Hey, Bill, come to the bar." It was. I had to doctor that a little bit, but it's okay.
Larry is so relaxed. For those of y'all who don't know, I'm like, I can't imagine Larry yelling at anybody. At all.
But for the character of Jim, who's probably somewhere in the realm of 72 years old, and he knows Alan's family, like the he's like, oh, your grandma's still alive? That poor old lady, right? So he did a good performance. Yes.
Yes.
He gave me a nice variety of emotion. You could tell when he got really frustrated with Bill, which I was very happy with, because it's like even Jim has his breaking point. Like, he's already trying to manage a bar and a restaurant, and he's got people all over the place, and people are drinking, and now you've got this crowd of people around these 2 guys who are about to just have the showdown of the century that's been coming since high school. Let's get into that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I feel like
loving
Bill
that.
is Gaston.
No, no, no.
He's worse than Gaston.
No, no. I can be completely candid with you here. I mean, and I have no shame in telling you this because I'm in my 40s. The freak, who cares? Bill is the personification of every asshole who has ever picked on me in my entire life.
Yeah.
Every single one. And the lines were real. I have literally, I wish I were exaggerating. I have literally had a person get in my face. And this is back when I was like over 300 pounds. I was really weak. I was really sloppy. This dude got in my face and he says, I can kick your ass. And you want to know why I can kick your ass? Because I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you, and I'm faster than you. I'll block every punch, I'll break your arm, and there's no way you can stop me. No way in the world. I will overpower you, and you don't want any of this. And people have literally said this to me. God's honest truth. I have been picked on and had people literally say that to me.
I feel like a lot of this is some lived experience for you, in one way or another.
90% of this episode I have experienced.
Yeah, that's what I was getting from this.
Yeah.
And I see you, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot, and I am so grateful you are here with us, so that we can show you all the love and all the acceptance and all the accolades that you deserve.
Aw.
Because you are amazing.
Aw,
Absolutely.
thank you.
And
And
we're
I
all
hope this process
thrilled.
was not triggering, but therapeutic.
This was extremely triggering. This
we
was
were all
extremely triggering because I had to think, how would I handle Bill? How would I handle him? Because we aren't in high school. I had to really think about this confrontation. This confrontation, you got to remember, this is 1985. There are no people with cell phones out video cameraing this. These are people at a bar and a restaurant, and everything has stopped. The whole restaurant has stopped. And here comes Biff Tannen into the restaurant in a very realistic sense. This guy is rich. This guy is tall. This guy is strong. This guy is fast. This guy is intimidating, and his daddy owns half of town. There is nothing anybody can do to this guy. He will kill people and get away with murder. That's who Bill is. Bill steals women. Bill steals reputations. Bill buys popularity and fame and accolades and anything he wants because him and his daddy are one step down from Jefferson Gardner in the literal sense.
I just want to say, domestic violence is a serious thing, and Hannah actually just private messaged me. We are going to put some domestic violence resources in the show notes. So if you are currently somebody who is dealing with any of this bullshit, please seek help. We will put resources in the show notes below. I just wanted to pop in now before we forget about it at the end.
Appreciate you, dude.
And mention that. Absolutely. And I think it's actually just like Tiffany said, we see you. I think it's going to be hilarious when we actually get together in person, though, because you're what, 5'11", you said? And I'm 5'5", so it's going to be like...
And I've been going to the gym for the past year, and I've kind of trimmed up in the face, and I've kind of put some gun action on, so yeah, it's a little different.
Go, Aaron!
You're just gonna step on me, and it's going to be great.
I have to say, the payoff for this, especially knowing now, this is... 2 decades in the making, and we're listening, and we've got how long was that scene? 5 minutes? And I think every single one of us was like, oh my God, punch him in the face. Oh my God, I will get my gun. I will
do it.
Violence is not the answer, but this time it is the answer. And we all wanted that.
And I don't want to camp here too long, but let's camp for a minute. So here we are. All right. You come into the bar. Yeah. And he hasn't been into this place since his mom died. This is a memory for him and his mother. His mother died, right? That's part of what he's going through. His wife leaves him after his mother dies. And now, not only just leaves him because, the big bad from high school has more money. And that's a real thing. It's a real thing. Guys do it. Ladies do it. Everybody, people who are weak enough, they do it. They will run where the money is. We call them gold diggers. And she struck gold with Bill. So here we are, and here's Bill. And he has not...
Did she really struck gold with him? He does not sound like it.
It was fake gold. That's what I would say.
Some fool's gold there.
But understand his confidence level. He is already half drunk. He's walking into this place, no consequence, none, and he's riling up a crowd. And here's the dude he stole the wife from. Now he's walking over just like the cafeteria in high school, and he's going to pick a fight. He's going to pick a fight. And what happens is that when he gets a little tag back, which he did, because at this point, James is done. He's done. It's like, we're not in high school. I'm not going to get detention, so I'm going to tell your ass off. What are you going to do? And then here it comes. And if you caught it, there are 2 points where he pushed Alan twice. He pushed him. Did you hear it? Because you could hear and then 2 footsteps. That means he got shoved and he took 2 steps back. And then he stepped up and he pushed him again. And he took 2 steps back. And that's when he stepped up and he said, you might want to take a step back. Right? And at this point, Bill has no fear. Because he knows he can lay this dude out. And he has no problem laying this dude out. He can. Like, canonically, Bill can lay this dude out with no problem. 1 punch and it's done. So it was a very George McFly moment when he said just the right thing about his daughter. He didn't give a damn about his wife. Like,
Which,
okay.
like, ew, fucking gross, by the way. Like, there's fucking gross. Like, ew, Bill.
Okay.
Ew, Bill.
So let me, I don't even want to say the words touch on that, but we're going to touch on that. Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say, choose your words carefully.
Yeah,
otherwise
yeah, I
I'm
know.
gonna be mad
So-
even more mad at you.
There are
Phrasing.
There are things as a parent, and I don't care how weak you are. I don't care if you can't lift 5 pounds. I don't care if you can't stand up on your 2 feet. I don't care if you can only walk and you can't run. When something about your child is said in the very wrong context with intention, you will run, you will get up, and you will lift more than 5 pounds, and things happen. It's mental. And it's what's the word for bloodline? Not generational. It's when you get triggered. It's in your blood as a parent.
Genetic.
It's genetic.
Genetic, instinctual, survival.
So here he is, right? Oh, I'm going to bend your wife over. No. Yeah, who freaking cares? She's gone. She left. She's been with other dudes around town. We're done. Who cares? That's why he said, yeah, you got my leftovers. And everybody loved that line. And Bill's like not winning this thing. It's like, okay, well, yeah, why am I not getting through to this guy? Well, his dumb half-drunk ass decided to make the, well, since your wife made me her daddy, then when your daughter's old enough, I'll be her daddy too. And yes, that is exactly what was intended when he said that. And then doom 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 doom, and then you heard
the breathing,
and then the snap, and it was done. And
what I loved about this scene, and what I loved about the writing in this scene, is you actually sent it to me a little early, and you're like, "Hey, Rob," because I have a warped sense of humor, and I can come up with stuff that is borderline bad, not necessarily sexual or like weird, like not necessarily in this vein, but I can come up with some pretty warped stuff. And Aaron's like, please, like, feel free to take this and make it worse if you want, because I want people to hate Bill. And I was like, okay. And I took a look at it and I was like, no, I think it's good.
because it
And
came from a very real place. Like I said,
You said he's the fucking worst already. Trust me. You were
Pretty
like,
much.
I need to read these lines. He's the fucking worst.
much of these lines. Let me tell y'all something. As a child of the 80s, as somebody who went to school in the 80s, as someone who grew up with parents in the 80s, and things were different in the 80s. Like, there were lines that were not yet drawn, that were drawn clearly in the 90s. Like, so there are just things in the 90s that went from acceptable to intolerable, and from intolerable to taboo. We were still at the very end of the realm of a lot of things not being acceptable, but people just look the other way. What happens behind closed doors, quote, quote, stays behind closed doors, quote, quote. So I can tell you from my own life experience that even though a lot of this did not happen to me, I was friends with many, many people, and my parents, and I'll say this about my mother had a heart of love. And a lot of the people that she associated herself with, and a lot of her friends, and a lot of the people that she reached out to, had a lot of the issues that happened in the 80s. And just because a kid is behind their bedroom door does not mean they don't hear what's going on. There was a lot of things back then that happened. So a lot of them didn't happen to me, but I watched a lot of it happen, and I listened to a lot of it happening, and I heard about a lot of it happening, and I know about people in my own mother's life who died because these things happened, because it wasn't even until the late 80s that we had 911. I was alive when 911 was new. Like, it was a brand new concept. You had to know the police station's number and dial it if you wanted help. Imagine being a victim of domestic violence and you don't have the police station's phone number memorized. So it's not a shocker. You got Rebecca Wayne, who's dealing with her abusive husband. You've got Mr. Allen, who's got Joanne. Like, screw life, whatever. I'm going to run where the money is, right? And there's really no justice for men. Like, there was no justice for men back then. Like, there was no, you're not going to take a dude to court, right? And have him win a custody case based upon behavior and whatever. I mean, it was still very much the child needs to be with the mother, even though the mother is with a completely douchebag of a boyfriend, right? And so, yeah, there was a lot of fear going into this episode for me, and a lot of fear revealing this episode, because this episode, again, is extremely telling. And I count my blessings that many of the things that happened in this story did not happen to me, but it still breaks my heart to remember that they happened at all. And there are people I'm sorry, Dave. There are people that I used to know that aren't with us anymore, and I miss them, and my mom's not with us anymore either. And that kind of plays into it too. So, yeah, this is this was a story of fleshing out. I needed the characters in this story to flesh out. Bill was a meme. Bill started as a meme. Bill was nothing more than 2 lines in the original story, which was idiot boyfriend. And then it just got fleshed out into this whole F Bill campaign. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me think of I can think of something. And then it all kind of came back, and then it all just ended up on the computer screen, and then it all ended up in the episode.
And who's despicable enough to play such a weird, wicked character?
We know
Rob.
a guy.
I know. Let's get Rob to do it.
Rob. Well, whoever Sally was in your life, I hope she's gone. 'Cause
She's psychotic.
yeah.
Hannah's muted. Lol.
I said I hope that demon's been excised.
Exercised?
No, it just showed up in his life like a year ago.
Yeah.
So I love this episode. How far have you guys gotten into the conversation? Because I had to pop out for a Christmas live stream really quick. But
We
then I
got
came back.
through.
Talked
And
about
in that, I'm heading off, so
Bye,
I've got to get
Tabitha.
going.
Bye, Tab.
Bye,
Tab.
Tabitha.
Bye.
We
I
say
think
Jason.
Jason also said that you were muted,
Yep.
Jason. We didn't hear you. But
He left.
And
It's
he's gone.
okay.
he
He's
did
gone.
also, for those of you who didn't see him wave goodbye, because you are listening through your ears, not
Through
your
your
eyes.
ear holes.
Yeah, listening through your side holes instead of your front holes.
Yeah.
I'm pointing to my eyes, people. I'm pointing to my eyes. They're
love
up
it.
here.
So now that Rob is with us, now we can get his perspective of
Yeah, you creep.
Bill.
I might need to duck out as well. It's almost 11, almost 11:30
17.
where I am. So I need to go to sleep.
Absolutely.
So, anyway,
Absolutely. If you guys got to go, go.
have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
We're pretty much the Q&A portion of this anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be buzzing out too, guys. Love you guys.
Bye, Nettie.
Good night, Nettie.
Bye. Love you guys.
Night, T.
All right. Yeah, I loved playing. So it's really weird because in the past 3 months, I've been cast as like 6 bad people, like bad guys.
Oof.
Which is not like, it's literally the polar opposite of who I am as a person. My entire reason for being is to empower others, to get, like, coach people up, get them to a space where they feel like, you know, they're free to play and grow and be their badass selves. And then I audition for these parts, which I think are fun, because I think that if you're bringing a bad guy to life, and I know that this has been talked about before, they don't necessarily know that they're bad, right? So you're just playing a character who is morally, they think that they're being fine, but they're morally opposed to what's going on in that world, that scene, whatever. And it's so different from who I am as a person that it's a lot of fun to come in with that perspective. And I've known plenty of Bills in my life, and I'm actually not friends necessarily, but acquaintance-friendly colleagues with some. Like, there are some Bills in my life who do tend to lean towards the douchey side, but are actually pretty cool people once you kind of get to know them. And it's really, a lot of times, just a front for insecurity, right? And so getting into the philosophical kind of, like, diving into who Bill is as a character, I didn't write like a backstory or any, like, it doesn't go very much further than pretty much what Aaron already said, like playing kind of a douchey Biff Tannen, with his own little flair. But like, these characters, they're people, and we know people like them. I'm sure everybody does. And so bringing that to life is fun for me because I can do that in this space. There's no way I could ever be that much of an asshole out in the world. And I'm not a pushover. Like, I'll defend myself, I'll defend my friends. If I actually, one of the coolest stories from when I was a kid, my dad would always back me. My dad would always be like, yo, if my dad didn't talk like that. My dad would say, Robert, if somebody's giving you a hard time, like, just clock them. And I'd be like, well, that's kind of mean. Like, I don't want to just go up beating people up. He's like, well, the first time you do it, no one will ever bother you again.
Or
what?
Or what happens to me is they double down on their own strength and they know they can win and they do win, and then you regret your choice.
Well, the one fight I ever got in, we kind of kicked each other's asses, but nobody fucked with either one of us ever again, which was awesome. And we both got suspended for like a week. Yeah, this is, back in elementary school. I think it was 5th grade. My my best friend, Stephen Pello, and I got into a fight, and it was funny. Anyway, we got over it, and we went back to being friends. And then I met my other best friend, who is Ryan, who is still my best friend to this day. And I haven't talked to Stephen in 25 years at this point. So, Stephen, if you're listening, hi, reach out. Would love to reconnect.
Steven!
Anyway, Bill was a lot of fun to play. Again, I'll make raunchy jokes. I'll make crude jokes. I get Danielle at a lot for saying sexually charged one-liners that are off color, but everybody here knows that I'm not being serious, and so I hope that it's not a problem. And if it is, please, anybody just let me know, because that's not who I want to be. And I read the script, and I was just like, ooh, even I don't really want to read this like on a produced thing. But at the same time, I was like, you know what? This is the character, and it's going to add a lot to the story of Alan, and yeah, so it was not a problem to do it. And actually, the line that you kept in, the take that you kept in, was "get down on her knees and suck." That wasn't in the script. That was me ad-libbing that ending, and I was kind of hoping it would be a fun little, like, at the end of the episode we'd throw it in. But you kept it, which I actually think it adds a lot to the scene.
With the crowd
Yeah.
going ooh, that was the perfect place for it.
Yeah,
Because
and the other side of that,
the crowd was feeding off of the energy of these two.
100%. And the reason that I added that as an ad lib is because when you're reading a script, you'll come to a line, especially where you want to cut somebody off, where somebody will end the line and they'll just put like 2 dashes, 2 hyphens to indicate that they're getting cut off. The challenge with that is if you don't continue speaking, you can tell when somebody gets to that point and then kind of just stop. Like it's a weird sound, and then you still have to trim some to make it sound like they got cut off, and it never sounds right.
Or they elongate it, like
Right.
100%. And it's usually fairly obvious when that happens. So when you're doing, and I think the first 2 takes I did just kind of cut it off, and I wasn't super happy with it. So when we got to that third, we did 2 takes? We did 3 takes.
You did 2, but I used both of your takes to build this up.
But the first take I wasn't happy with because I did the stop thing and I was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. So when we were finishing out that scene with Larry and everything, I was thinking about what to say to kind of end that line so that it was a more natural transition. And I was just expecting you to kind of cut the word off in the middle, but it stuck around. So yeah, I thought that was really good.
Wanted to see how far I could take Bill. I really did. I really wanted to see how far I could take him, and he went. He went as far as a person could go.
all the way.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
He went, and you're playing somebody so different from yourself because when you were gone, Rob, that was something that me and Teresa had touched on, is that both Teresa and I play such extreme characters mostly in real life, right? I play a lot of little boys. I play a lot of really animated things. And so I had to play somebody a bit more grounded and a bit more realistic, and somebody that wasn't as on both extreme ends of the spectrum. And I'm sure for you did have to play somebody that was on the extreme spectrum away from yourself in a different way, right? And especially because you have been playing these villain characters so much, you reminded me a lot of a while ago I got to see J. Michael Tatum do a panel at a con, and somebody had asked him, how do you relate to your worst characters, right? Like you play a lot of villains sometimes, like what, think about that, with his redemption and for Scar and stuff, maybe it's a bit more obvious with some of the characters that he's played. But, he had talked about that every character has a worldview, kind of similar to what you said, right? And that even though you maybe don't agree with that worldview, you have to find some place of empathy. You have to understand your character, right? And you have to understand their worldview. You don't need to agree with them, right? As a person, sure, but that's your job as an actor, right? Is you got to find your in. You have to find some way to relate to that person and some way to relate to that character, even if it's, I don't even if it's you're like, oh my God, that guy's probably really insecure, really deep down, or that guy's just really evil deep down. So you really really tap into your most carnal desires, whatever the fuck that it is. But the point is you do have to find that character relatable somehow. You really have to dig deep. And I don't know if people know that part, right? That sometimes it is really gross to have to really get in there and you're like, I'm not that guy and I don't want to be that guy. And I have to be right now and I have to find a way to relate to that guy. Gross.
And the way that I think I related to Bill is I grew up as a computer nerd. Like, I loved computers. I was a software engineer for a decade and a half, 2 decades, was kind of my primary occupation. I wanted to design and build video games as a kid. So when I was 16, I was, building websites, and then I learned how to code, and then I was, writing small little programs and games and things like that. And then I got into the corporate world and decided I wanted to kill myself because that side of it sucks. But when you are in that I'm going to say toxic environment because, computer science is all about trying to one-up your friends. And it's not necessarily toxic in the backstabbing way, but it's a very kind of subversive bro culture, or at least it was in the 90s and the 2000s. Like, you wanted to pwn your friends, right? Like, so like, I have experience with that. Like, I just made $50,000 in sale. Like, I've not necessarily in the sales context, but like, I just wrote a program and you've been working on this shit for a week and a half and I did it in like an hour. You suck. Like, I get where that comes from. Like, I can totally get into that vibe. And I've grown quite a bit since my high school days. But like, I get that. I get where that comes from. I understand. And even now when I have wins, like, I definitely have that little voice in the back of my head, that, I guess, ego, if you want to call it that, where it's like, you're the fucking best. You're awesome. Like, you're going to kick ass and chew bubble gum and you're all out of gum, right? Like, it's that whole, that is definitely in the back of my mind. And there's also the front end of it, which keeps me in check, which is the humble side, which is like, great, I just figured something out. How can I use this to help somebody else, right? Like, and this is actually kind of spooky because for those of you who don't know, I mentioned that I went and did a Christmas live stream. I'm reading for the 24 days leading up to Christmas. This is December 2nd. I started yesterday. I'm reading A Christmas Carol, and it's the first story of probably several that I'm going to read leading up to Christmas, and this has a point, more than just to promote my live stream. We just got to Marley and Scrooge talking to each other. Marley talking about, like, I was so selfish. I forged these chains when I was living, and I should have been putting this to good use for the betterment of humanity. Like, that's his whole spiel. And this is literally like what I think about when I have a win, right? I figure something out, or so we have a Discord for our like a chat channel for all of our Articulate members. And one of the things that I do almost every day is if I see something that's on the internet that I think is a tip, trick, something that is good advice, a podcast, a blog entry, something like that, we have a channel specifically for me to spam everybody with all of these cool tips, tricks, techniques, whatever. And I'll put stuff in there that usually it's like from industry staples, J. Michael Collins, Anne Ganguza, Karin Gilfried, like the Nava people, Tim Friedland. Like, I'll put all of their stuff in there. And it's because if it helps me, I know it's going to help somebody else. And so I want to make sure that everybody gets the opportunity to see or listen or consume the stuff for the betterment of everybody, right? Like, that's who I am now. So, and even when I was in software, like, there was always that element to this. I come from open source development as a background. I hated charging money for stuff. If I figured something out, yeah, I was tough, top shit, and I rocked your world because I'm a better developer than you and all that. But I'd still share what I found. I'd still be like, this is really cool. Here, look what I did. Can you make it better? And this was before things like if you guys are software engineers or into software or anything like that, there's a bunch of file sharing websites where you can post your stuff and people can like code review you and make sure that there aren't better ways to do it. So I've always been into kind of giving back to whatever community I've been involved in. Same with real estate. That's my day job, my survival job. I am essentially a motivational coach. Like, I love getting people jazzed about their business. I love coaching people on different techniques to go and try to find new business. I'm terrible at doing it myself, but I'm great at, I learned something. This is something that's very useful. I know how to fix something about your business. Let me, when they ask, I don't just like walk around mansplaining to everybody. But
not like Bill would.
Not like Bill would. But if somebody's like, hey, I have a legitimate problem. I'm having this issue. What do you recommend? I've got 27 plus years of experience through pest control with my dad, through software engineering as a business, through real estate as a business. Here's some things you could try. And oftentimes, and that's why I am very prominent in the local real estate community here in the Bay Area. People know me, and a lot of people haven't even met me, and they're like, oh, you're that guy. So I love giving back. I think that it's one of the biggest gifts for me is when I can can see the light bulb go off in somebody else's head. I love that.
Super appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I know I wake up and I'm always waiting for the tips and tricks.
Same.
I appreciate that.
I'm like, I need to do some of that, but I don't consume as much of that stuff as I should. And I appreciate that you share what you've come across.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I drive so much during my day job that I'm constantly listening to all this stuff. So it's not like I go trolling for this stuff and I'm like, what can I post today? Like, it's literally, I'll be listening to a podcast and they'll mention something really cool and I'll be like, oh my God, Aaron would love this, and I'll post it. Or, oh my God, this is perfect for Hannah, and all, because we all post about the stuff that we're having challenges with.
And it works. It works out because, like, when I go on my walks or when I go to the gym, you know, I don't exercise well alone. I need to have something going in my ear. So that's the time for me to be listening to the tips and the tricks, or going over old episodes of this, or just kind of seeing where improvement can happen, or seeing where new possibilities are. There is one more place we need to steer to, and that is the big reveal. And that would be, who is Sally?
My God, I could not believe that.
That was really good. I enjoyed that.
Maybe good for you, but I loved finding out. Like, here I am. Because playing like the scared little girl, I'm like, oh my God, who is this? Also, like, why is my friend scaring the shit out of me? And then to find out that I'm like, you're some vigilante psycho TV ghost girl bitch crazy.
Well, I think there's also this, like, well, who's Lisa too? Like, what is she all about?
Who is Lisa?
Also?
Well, and that's, I mean, honestly, like, so I remember getting the script, and when I read the script, I was like, I saw Sally, and so I read all of Sally's lines, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm an attorney. Well, that's cool. And then, like, I jumped in, and Aaron was already talking to Teresa, but he was talking about, like, here's how I want you to play Sally, and I'm like, what?
I thought I was Sally.
Did I just get recast? What happened? Oh my God.
Like, why am I here?
Yeah. And so, like, even I was like, oh, okay. And it took me a second to, like, adjust and be like, oh, this is the story. This is what happened. So, yeah, I liked it.
I loved it. Did we already touch on the clock ticks?
We did not.
No. Oh my God. So when we were doing the watch party or the listen party, I commented on, if you listen to the first scene in the lawyer's office, you hear the clock ticking continuously in the background. And it's just subtle enough that it's not annoying.
That's right.
But it's there. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like, and I don't remember what I typed exactly, but it was along the lines of, oh, I love the clock. And it was because it was just enough to where it was like almost pacing the scene out.
It's ambience.
Right?
The clock was part of the attorney's office ambience,
which I loved. And then we get to kind of wrapping up the backstory, flashback thing, and the clock. It's like the crocodile at the end of Peter Pan, right? And the clock comes back, and you're like, oh, I thought it was great.
It's also interesting that all of this seems to be happening digitally with, like, Sally and all that kind of stuff, and there's an analog element grounding that whole scene.
Totally.
I think that's really interesting.
Didn't even think about that, but I love that too. Now that you mention it, that's amazing.
A lot of the questions that I got early on is like, how are we related? Like, how is this a consequence of episode 3? How is this all related to Jason's city, right? And this is all happening in Jason's city. This still is completely related to what's happening in the canonical story. It's not going to change the canonical story. Again, this is a consequence of it. But how sick was it that, it was the last 10 seconds that she just lets it all out of the cookie jar. Like, here we go.
And then
and
her
that's
voice
the only
kind
way
of
you
degrades.
know. Like, that's when
digitally.
you finally are like, oh, because before you're like, wait, there is a Sally Epstein, but that's not the same voice. Like, I mean, it was the same place that I was when I was first reading the script. And it's not till like that last post-credit scene that you're like, oh, I see what happened.
I needed a recovery line because I thought her first line of, well, it's not fair for these kids and I think they deserve better. And, most of those kids do. That was kind of a little bit of a gimme away. But then I quickly had Teresa come back in to recover with, yes, I agree. And it's a horrible situation and blah, 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 blah. And then you drop the line. It's
Right.
like we're hinting. Is she the? Oh shit! Yes, she is. You know, because I mean, and then I had to do the Sally doubled over voice little giggle at the end. Like you just kind of, you don't really
I'm
do
changing
it.
my laugh for the rest of my life. I'm going to practice a new laugh now.
Oh my God, VO Atlanta's going to be terrifying.
So terrifying. Like, so terrifying. I'm going to never be able to unhear your beautiful dulcet tones. Now in my sleep, I'm just going to hear.
I'm gonna have a shirt made for her that says "I'm your friend, Sally."
Oof.
Yeah.
We can wear that when you're okay, but I feel like when we go out drinking, that could be incredibly helpful. Like, I feel like that could be incredibly helpful. Hi, would you want to come to me to a new bar? You
Yeah.
could be my new friend if you buy me a shot.
Oh my God. You know, that would be the
and then
perfect way.
have you met Hannah?
Dude, that would be the
'Cause I'm
perfect
not
way to
dealing
creep
with
out any guy who's hitting on you.
My God, then that would be
Hey,
the.
what are you doing in a place like this? Hi, I'm your friend Sally. Do you want to go on a trip with me? Like, it would just terrify
Going
any
to the
guy.
North Pole.
I was
100%.
like, does that mean like a trip then?
Yeah.
No, we're all Dare kids here, so no.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Bring it full circle.
Love it. I love it.
Has
Well, it
anybody
was a
got
great,
anything
great
else?
episode.
I know we talked on the sound effects at the beginning without Rob, and then like Rob mentioned the clock, but you know, there's like these little pieces of ambiance throughout the entire thing, like the room tone. Like you paid attention to like little room tone, and you paid attention to like, there was a glass that broke in the bar. You know, like just like little things that like you're not necessarily going to pick up on them. But they just create so much more of a depth of a scene, and absolutely incredible. You deserve awards. I'm going to give you an award, and I'm going to put you up for awards when I figure out how to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
all the
So,
sound effects in the kitchen scene. I'm
should
like,
we
she's like,
go for 2026 Sovis with this?
yeah, why not?
Hell yeah.
I think we should start with one voice. I don't know. The Sovis Awards, I think, are already done for
25. Yes.
Oh, for 25. Okay. Yeah, I mean, for next year, 100% we could try.
Now, in all fairness, like every third person on LinkedIn has been nominated for Sovis, so you know.
It certainly seems that way, and
Oh my-
I'm very, very excited for all of them.
Everybody
And a
on
lot
my
of
feed has been
those-
nominated.
A lot of those are pay to play, right? You pay to win. You pay to
screw
nominate
that.
You
yourself.
pay to submit your things to
I
be
think
considered.
the Sovis Award is $575 to submit yourself for each category or something like that.
Yes.
No, I want to earn this. I don't
So
want
our
to pay to win this.
Patreon, please, and thank you.
Yeah,
everybody.
join us on our Patreon. You can Venmo me at Robert-Sogamonian, and I will take all of those donations and put them towards Articulate stuff. But even people who, a lot of people have sponsors. So they'll have a voiceover coach, or they'll have a voiceover mentor or something, or a producer who will sponsor them for the award. But the majority of people will submit themselves. Even things like the Oscars, from what I hear. Now, if you are an actor and you have been nominated or received an Oscar award, and that's not the case, let me know. Because I don't know that. Yeah, or don't.
Send us some
Just let me
rage
believe
comments
whatever
in
I
the
want to believe.
comments.
It's $2,000 to submit for the Oscars. No, anyway, I don't have any idea. But from what I understand, for all of the voiceover awards, it's pretty much you submit yourself, or you have a coach or trusted mentor submit for you, but they are sponsoring you, which is fine because you still have to win the award and you still have to be nominated. You don't automatically get a nomination because you submit. So it's still a merit-based system. It's just very rare that somebody's going to listen to something and be like, oh, we're going to submit this out of the blue. So I do think we have something really, really special here. If anybody out there wants to submit us out of the blue, we'll take it.
Yeah,
let
give
us
us
know
your
first.
fucking money.
Well, or just do it and let us know, and then we don't have to deal with it. But for the most part, we'll probably submit ourselves for some awards next year. Yeah, I think that's. I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot, and I love them.
Bring it back to the episode. Who do I need to shake my big tits in front of to get hired for this job? Oh
No.
my
Some glitter,
God,
too.
I'm employee 1. Come on now.
That is true. I love it. I love it. Does anybody else have anything else to add to this episode?
What an episode. What a crazy 2.5 weeks of editing it has been.
So
yeah, did you touch
So
on the fact
worth
that you
it.
basically you've been editing this since you basically beeline this since last week?
No, I've been at this for 2 weeks because I still had more people recording, but the last 4 days I've been up till 3:30 in the morning getting this tightened up.
Which is amazing. I mean, it's incredible. And again, this is Tuesday night. Tomorrow we're releasing the episode. I still have to put together the video version of this for YouTube.
Shit, I gotta get it to you.
Yeah, it's fine. Just DM it to me in Discord.
Yes.
But we literally all listened to it for the first time before jumping on this resonant frequency. And
The reactions.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And we may post some of the reactions after the episode goes live on our socials. I recorded just us reacting to the episode in Zoom. So I have all of our facial, reactions and all of that.
I caught some eye wiping.
I was crying, man. Yeah, 100%. I was laughing so hard. No, I'm kidding. But it was good.
You're like,
Any other
oh God.
Yeah.
God, his beautiful face.
I did such a good job as an asshole. Anybody else have anything else to contribute to this episode?
Mm-mm.
Awesome, y'all. Well, this has been another Static Shift Resonant Frequency Beat Frequency Episode 2, My Friend Perspective. We hope you've enjoyed joining us. If you have any comments, questions, further theories, or just want to send us a quick note about Static Shift, you can email us at staticshift@articulate.studio. If you'd like more information about Articulate Studios, we are actually a voiceover studio, so feel free to send us an email or visit us on the web at articulate.studio. You can find all these links in the show notes. By all means, go and take a look. If you want to inquire about working with any of us on your voiceover projects or any other projects that you're working on, some of us like to do on-camera stuff. Some of us like to do other kinds of art. So writing, editing, etc.
Singing.
Reach out to us. Yeah. What was that?
Singing.
100%. I'm not going to break into song. Send us an email at contact@articulate.studio. And that's articulate with the number 8 and not ATE.studio. We are going to be taking a little holiday hiatus, and we'll be picking back up with the finale of Static Shift Season 1 on January 8th. Please check me. That should be the second Wednesday in January in 2026. So, from all of us left here at Articulate Studios, have an excellent holiday season, and we will be seeing you again in the new year. Say goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Everybody, happy holidays. New Year's.